We are actually at the Bellagio in Las Vegas, coming from the Churco restaurant on the property, and we've just been talking with Randy Morton, the president and COO of Bellagio, but someone who's a really great source of information about Las Vegas because he's been here for 12 years and he's seen all the development, the good, the bad, and sometimes even the ugly. Remember the movie Leaving Las Vegas? Well, we got somebody here who's written a book called Eating Las Vegas. And he's my colleague from the CBS affiliate here, KLAS Channel 8, John Curtis. Hey, John.
Thank you, Peter. Great to be here.
And happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays.
I mean, we were just talking to Randy about all this, there's so many great, over-the-top, great quality venues here in Vegas. I used to think, I spent a lot of time in Bangkok, and I said, it's impossible to find a bad hotel in Bangkok. I'd almost have to say it's impossible to find a bad restaurant in Las Vegas these days. But you found a couple. Yeah, come on, you have.
Well, I will say that none of the bad ones made it into the book, though. Our Eating Las Vegas is about the essential 50 restaurants in Las Vegas.
Okay, because one of my last books was called Don't Go There, and everything that was bad made it into that book. It was
we try to deal with the best of the best in the book.
All right, so from a budget point of view, right? Okay. What would you say is the best value restaurant in Las Vegas?
A place called Manta on Spring Mountain Road. As you know, Peter, we have a Chinatown, we call it. It's really kind of an Asia town. Starts about a mile west of the Strip. Spring Mountain Road goes for like 3 miles. It's not really Chinese. This is like Koreatown and Vietnamese town and Japanese town. And there's about 60 restaurants in about a 3-mile stretch. And Manta.
Are these all in strip malls or no?
They're all in strip malls.
Yeah.
Okay. And Manta Ramen Noodle Bar has like 26 seats. Dinner for 2 will run you $20, and
you know who
phenomenal.
Told me about that place? Alex Strada.
Alex Strada. Well, if I do want to pat myself on the back, I told Alex Strada about it.
You're kidding me?
Yes, I did.
Well, Alex Strada, for those people who don't know, is a wonderful chef who has Alex over at the Wynn. And I asked Alex where he hung out. That's where he hangs out.
And by the way, if you look at the very first restaurant in Eating Las Vegas, Alex is the number one.
Oh, it's an amazing restaurant.
I mean, we didn't number our top 10 according 1 through 10. It's just alphabetical, but Strada gets top billing because of the name of his first name.
I know, Alex is great. Okay, so that's a great value restaurant.
Manta, yes, $20, not even 18.
All right, and based on the cab ride here in Las Vegas, it'll cost you $20 to get there in the cab.
Exactly, or I'll pick you up at the airport if you ask.
Not me. I'm talking about everybody else listening to the show. Come on, give me a break. All right, so give me another one that's not Asian. That's a value restaurant.
Los Antoyos, again off the Strip. The locals always want to know what's great off the Strip. Obviously, the people, the tourists who come here, stick on the Strip mainly. But Los Antoyos.
But if they're smart tourists, they become travelers, and then they go off the Strip.
Exactly. If they listen to Peter Greenberg, they understand that some of the best finds and the best buys aren't necessarily always in the big hotels. We have phenomenal restaurants in the hotels. Los Antoyos, little tiny Mexican hole in the wall, 10 seats, Mexico City food, little old ladies making it in the back, fresh tortillas, fresh mole, lunch or dinner for 2, $25 tops, and a wonderful Mexican food.
For two.
Yeah, for 2. I mean, I think the most expensive thing on the menu is $8.
All right, so now let's shift gears and talk about on the Strip.
On the Strip, yes.
Yes, and Randy and I were talking about buffets, of course, and those are the legendary buffets in Las Vegas, and they've gotten better. You don't like them?
I hate buffets. They encourage waste and overeating. Okay, I'm a food snob. I mean, I have to admit it. I know that's what people come to. I mean, and they're not that cheap. But I will say this.
I must say, in the days that I weighed more, and you remember me when I weighed more.
I thought you turned sideways. You disappear now.
Thank you so much. Well, in the days where I weighed more, I would look forward to I'm going to do one buffet when I'm here, and go nuts, right?
Yeah, right.
And you know what? You have they'd serve you a chocolate chip cookie there that was the size of a Frisbee. and then you were done.
Yeah, I know.
And you spent $18 for a chocolate chip Frisbee.
And look at all the food. I'm going to say 2 things. Number one, look at all the food that gets thrown away at buffets. Not by the buffets. They're very good at serving and making just about enough food.
Yeah.
But people load up their plates and throw half of it away. That being said, if you're going to eat in a buffet, go to one of the better hotels. The Bellagio does have probably the best buffet in all of Las Vegas.
And Mandalay does a great job too.
Mandalay Bay does too. Wynn has a great buffet.
Yeah.
The better hotels have wonderful ones.
But
the cheaper ones, not so much.
You bring up an interesting point because I'm working on a project right now about hunger in America, and I'm going to give you a statistic that is absolutely staggering. We could feed in this country 21 million people a day just with the food we throw away.
Yes, I've heard that, and it's shameful, isn't it? It
Yeah.
really is. I mean, I've heard that we throw away 25% of all food made in America without even being eaten. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just shameful. Americans should eat better, and eat less. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Eat like Peter Greenberg.
I'm now the king of the appetizers. I just have an appetizer because I make a little room for dessert, which I'll share with somebody, and I'm done.
Yeah, well, I've learned to pick. I always say I'm not as fat as I could be, nor as thin as I should be. And when you eat in every restaurant in Las Vegas, and I think I can confidently claim I've eaten out more than anyone ever in the history of Las Vegas, in Las Vegas. So I've learned to nibble just like you do, just a little bit of appetizers, bites here and there, and only one little spoonful of dessert every night. That's how I do it.
Wow.
But I'm still, twice your size.
Shut up. The name of the book. I love the name of the book. Eating Las Vegas. It's the 2011 edition, so getting ready, or you're already ready for it because we're coming to it next week.
I know we've sold out the first printing, so we're very happy.
That's great.
Yeah.
And you got value stuff in there, and as John says, if you can go off the strip and follow some of those, those strip mall restaurants, I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed.
And from top to bottom, I think we cover them all in Eating Las Vegas.
You got it. John, thanks for joining us. That music means we're out of time for this hour. For those stations leaving us, have a great rest of your Christmas weekend. For those stations sticking around, we got 2 more hours coming up of Peter Greenberg Worldwide right here from the Bellagio and Churco Restaurant. Back with more right after this. Go ahead, have that cookie. It's the size of a Frisbee.